Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Chantel. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. So as you might be able to tell, maybe there's a little change of scenery today, and that is because I actually have been out of town for the last few days. I'm in Cancun actually for a destination wedding, my very first destination wedding. I'm super excited about it. I'm actually heading back to the airport in about an hour, but I was actually kind of proud of myself for this weekend, and I wanted to share some things with you guys before I left. I thought, why not just make a video about it? I know how hard it is for people when they go on vacation. They work so hard to try to get their body right and tight for vacation, and then for them to splurge so much during that time when they're there. And I just want to give you some tips because, like I said, I felt pretty good coming out of this weekend, and I wasn't good entirely at all, but there were some things that I did to kind of help myself through that, and I guess even come to terms with the fact that I wasn't 100% on my game this weekend. So a couple of things. These are just some things that I experienced. I would be happy to hear what you guys do to kind of keep yourself together while you're on vacation. Another thing that I want to say is I am outside. It could be a little noisy, so I apologize if it is noisy. As a matter of fact, there's a bird somewhere around here that's just like legitimately going crazy. And then third, I wrote some things on my notes, so if I am looking down, that's why. I just want to make sure I am to the point for you guys. Before I get started, I want to say that I'm about 50 people away, 50 subscribers away from 1,000 subscribers. I'm really excited about that, y'all, because worked really hard to get to that number, trying to publish content that was watchable. And as I'm growing and as I'm growing this channel, I'm getting better with the content, I think, and there's just going to be so much more to come. So I'm excited for the future months. So if this is your first time here, make sure you like this channel, or make sure you like this video, and then also subscribe, so that way we can just keep moving forward. If you know me personally, then you know how obsessed I am with mermaids, so much so that there may or may not be one tattooed on my body somewhere, but I'm pretty sure just looking out in that water that there's got to be some kind of mermaid that exists, right? Anyway, so let's go ahead and get right into the video. And again, this is just going to be everything that I feel like I've done this weekend to try to help me stay on track, or at least come to terms with the fact that, you know, hey, I'm not perfect. So hopefully this can help you out. So the first thing is planning ahead when possible. If you can plan ahead, then know your options, because it's just going to ease your mind a little bit more. For instance, I was at a wedding. I was just so lucky to have options there. I actually went in there with no expectation, thinking that I wasn't even going to be able to eat. But the menu was they tailored them a few menu items to me and then one other person who's vegan as well. So that was really, really exciting. You'd be surprised how easy it is to travel and eat healthy, as long as you make yourself available to that. I think sometimes we just kind of know when we go on vacation that we're going to splurge a little bit and forget that, like, healthy foods are probably more accessible than non-healthy foods when you go to places, especially tropical places. I mean, it's so abundant with fruit and vegetables and things like that. Choose to eat consciously as a lifestyle. So meaning, when you're consciously eating, then you don't stress so much about going out of town places and eating healthy, because you're okay with the options that are available. If I came here and the only option was to eat a bunch of fruit, which I thought could have been the case, then I would have just been eating a bunch of fruit. We eat to live, we don't live to eat. So when you think of food as energy to fuel your body the way that you should be fueling your body, so you can go do the activities that you want to do while you're on vacation, so you can dance, you can, you know, party. That is what food is for. So if you're trying to keep yourself on a diet, then it's going to be so much harder for you to do that when you're out, and it's not going to be enjoyable. You're going to be thinking about calories the whole time. You're going to be stressing yourself out the whole time about it, and it's just not an enjoyable time for you or anybody else. The next thing is reading my notes. Know your boundaries and stay true to yourself. So Just because everybody else is doing something doesn't mean that you have to do it. And I think that's a hard part, is like you're on vacation, especially like me, if you're on an all-inclusive resort. I actually didn't have this that much where people were like trying to charge me up for not drinking or eating a certain way. They all pretty much respect my lifestyle choices, which is cool. But I know it's not like that for everybody. So I would say if you know you're around people who you think are going to try to pressure you to be one way or the other, just know your boundaries. You don't have to do things just because other people are doing them. And I know that sounds pretty elementary, but you'd be surprised how hard it is for people to stick to their goals because they see everybody else doing it. And a lot of times it's not even peer pressure, it's just like self-inflicted pressure because you just want to do what everybody else is doing. But if you, my dad always says, and it's not his quote so he can't like steal it or anything, but he says it all the time, is like, if you, I always mess it up too. If you don't stand for anything, you fall for everything. Don't set rules for yourself. Really just set some guidelines to say like, okay, instead of me saying when I first started that I was not gonna drink, I'm saying, okay, if I drink, I'm gonna try not to add all that sugary stuff to my beverages. Like, for instance, instead of doing like pina colada with all that cream and like coconut cream and all that stuff that they put in there, which is extra fat, I just had straight coconut rum with a little bit of pineapple juice. I still felt like I was drinking a pina colada, but I just didn't have all that extra stuff in there. Another thing is, I, tried during the day to really be good about my diet, had a really lean breakfast, had a really lean lunch, and for dinner, I allowed myself to splurge a little bit on what I was eating. And at the end of the day, it really didn't matter because I had been so good during the rest of the day. Those are the types of things that you can really truly make a big difference when it comes to indulging and enjoying yourself and not having regrets later, versus like overindulging and totally regretting how you feel and how you come back later, because you don't want to come off vacation and feel like you got to do a crash diet just to come off of vacation. Like, who wants to do that? This is really, really important, and sticking to your routine. So everybody has like their own routine, what they do in the morning, and hopefully you do. And you probably have one and you just don't realize that it is. Like my mom is to wake up in the morning, drink coffee, drink a glass of water. That's just her morning routine. My morning routine always consists of having about 32 ounces of water, followed by a smoothie or a juice or something like that. And I was fortunate and blessed enough and very thankful for the fact that I was able to get up and do the same thing. They kept water on deck. I had 2 bottles of water, and my hotel actually had fresh juice, green juice, downstairs. So at least three of the days I was able to wake up in the morning with fresh juice as my breakfast. And then for lunch, I had a big green salad, which was a compromise that I had because I normally have my salads at dinner time. But knowing that I was going to be eating dinner with my parent, with my mom, or with the rest of the family, I was like, you know what, let me have my green salad during lunch. So kept it lean. That was my routine that I chose to stick to because, that again goes back to just making it a lifestyle, eating consciously. When you stick to your routine and not be like, hey, I'm on vacation, I'm about to turn up. No, eating and drinking, that is a part of the experience, but it isn't the full experience. The full experience is having quality time with your friends and your family, and that is really, really important to remember. Okay, couple more here. Drink plenty of water, like you're here 9 times out of 10 you're eating a lot of food, you could be drinking a lot. Drink a lot of water. And I know that sounds simple, but it's so helpful. I mean, not only is water like so good for hydration, it's good for detoxing you. I mean, wake up in the morning, have you a couple bottles of water, bring you water everywhere you go, so that way you still feel good and hydrated. And it helps to detox your body from all of the harsh things that you put in it over the last couple of days. So this one is an important one. I know we all like pack our gym clothes and stuff and act like we're gonna go work out while we're in vacation, and we don't. Try to work out as much as possible, but don't expect that. I mean, don't feel bad if you don't, but you can always do things outside of working out to keep yourself active. Like, You can play sports. Like I played sand volleyball yesterday, had an amazing workout from that. I mean, I'm sore everywhere and I got the wounds, bruises to prove it, truly. Or you can dance. You know, dancing burns a lot of calories. Like you don't have to get up and like run the beach or do all that stuff those cute like people on Instagram do, like whatever. You don't have to just work out in a gym in order for you to feel like you got some exercise in or got your heart rate up. You can play sports or go jet skiing or, you know, walk around the beach or dance the night away. It's like tons of things that you can do to try to stay active. Going back to the other stuff, like if you keep your diet intact, having a couple days off the gym, it really wouldn't matter that much. I mean, truthfully, but you didn't hear that from me. Okay, and the last thing is just don't take yourself so seriously, you know, and have some fun. That's what you're here for. You're here to have fun, socialize with friends and family members, not to be obsessing about your diet. So that's one thing that I can say is if you don't take yourself too seriously, then you'll have fun and you really won't care. You know, stick to those a few little tips and really just try to enjoy yourself. Eat as consciously as possible, drink as much water as possible, don't overindulge, and have fun. You'll have a great time and you'll leave vacation feeling like, you know, you're still on your normal routine. It won't take you days or weeks to get back into your routine because for the most part you stuck to it. And also, people really don't care. Like, you know, like you can feel like you look terrible in a bathing suit or, you know, whatever, but honestly, people do not care once you get here. Like, they just don't. So don't be so stuck on yourself about how you look or how, you know, as long as you feel good because you're doing the right things, that's all that really matters. Okay, y'all, so that's really all that I have. I hope that you found it helpful. Again, as I was thinking about my weekend and going back home, I'm like, I feel good, you know, I feel rejuvenated, I feel revived, I feel like I was present in the moment while I was here. Because I didn't like overindulge, but I did still indulge, and I feel great about that. And I'm glad that I didn't obsess about how I felt or how I looked or what I was eating or what I was drinking. I really just let go and then try to stick to my normal regimen as much as possible, and I allowed myself to indulge when I wanted to, and I'm so excited and happy that I did that. So hopefully you guys found some value in this. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it. Also, like I mentioned earlier, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and you know, I'm thinking of a giveaway, maybe, potentially. So subscribe so we can get to that 1,000. You know, the more people we reach, that means the more people who are starting to think to eat consciously, who might be wanting to go vegan, we'll see. And it's just getting that message out to more people. The more the merrier, basically. So I'll let you guys go. Thank you for joining me and tuning in. Until next time.